Friday night check-in. I'm accustomed to saying Sunday night check-in, but it's actually Saturday night. I am logging on now over here on IG. What's up? What's up? Saturday night check-in. Who is coming in first? Most of the people come in faster on IG, but we are streaming live on Facebook and we are streaming live on YouTube. Anointed Vessel is the first one. RD Bowie 1953, Clanisha, Exquisite, Ideal Beauty, Niche Blessed, Flower Bomb, Miami Kid, Rose 49 in. Come on in. Good evening, good evening. Listen, it is cold in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm drinking a little hot, I want to call it tea, but it's actually somewhat of like a concoction because it's not from a tea bag. Something I made. Hey, Daria. But it's to prevent me from getting sick with all of this cold weather. Urban Rose, girl, that's J. Kyle. Chalmers.Christy, come on in. Hey, Daria, I meant to call you all day today. And so, yeah, we will talk sometime tomorrow. But I did mean to call you today so that we could go over what you know we need to go over. Come on in. I don't have anyone on YouTube or Facebook yet. So it's an interesting evening. I don't plan on being on here long. Hey, Brother Jose. We are home trying to stay warm, preparing for church tomorrow. Max, Cheryl, wondering how many of these people going to really come out in the cold weather in Dallas. I don't know if whatever area you're in, but in this area, when there is rain, people stay home. When they are cold, people stay home. So like for people like Brother Jose who live in New Jersey or Bianca who is in Chicago, y'all could never stay home when it was cold. But in Dallas, the temperatures are dropping rapidly. And we sometimes stay home when it's cold. I don't know. So I wonder how many people will be e-members tomorrow and how many will be. It is a -6 in Chicago. Wow. Bless you, Bianca. 5 in New Jersey. We're on our way to 25. Now, we're not on our way to -6, but we're on our way to 25. Hey, Angela Wilson over on YouTube. Hey, Edro, how are you? How are you? So tonight I'm going to start off a little different because today we traveled back from Pastor Dobbins from his aunt's funeral this week. And for those who don't know, the funeral was Tuesday in one place. It was Wednesday in El Paso. And El Paso is about 9.5 hours from here. And so we went to El Paso on Wednesday. We spent the night in El Paso Wednesday night and Thursday night. And then yesterday we came home, stopped through again to check on his mom, and then took Joshua back to school for the spring semester. And then we came home, and I then had some work I had to do. So I didn't go to bed until 7 a.m. this morning. Hey, Elder Yvette Henderson. I didn't go to bed until 7 a.m. this morning. I was up all night and I slept until about 12:30 p.m. Hey, Raya. Hey, EDG_on Big Migo Flex. And so I'm saying that all to say I had some things that I was trying to complete today. Hey, Unchained. Hey, Spider Stitch, that have to be completed by 12 o'clock midnight tonight Pacific time. So, which would be 1 a.m. here in Dallas. But anyway, so I had to look up some documents. I needed to be able to scan some legal documents. And so some of my legal documents, hey, Spider Stitch, are put away in a place that is a little higher than I am. So higher than I am tall. So my husband I had to wait till later for my husband to get it. So long story short, I'm trying to tell you, I was digging through looking for these documents that I needed. Hey, Kimberly. And this is how we're going to start. We know where we're going to end, but this is how we're going to start. And so I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting what I ran across. So while I was looking for some of the documents that I need, I ran across um, a scholarship packet that we had applied for. I'm saying we, it was on my behalf, but it was a scholarship I was applying for as a senior in high school. I won't even say what year that was right now. But my mother, being a school teacher, hey, Kimberly Renee, I am at church on Sundays. I'm just with the youth, so I know I don't get to see everybody the way I normally see them because we're over in the youth. Hey, walk away, Renee. So anyway, I ran across a scholarship packet. I had applied for a scholarship in high school, two different scholarships that were given by my school. Someone wealthy left enough money that people could go to college. 60 people, about 60 people a year, could go to college for the last 40 years, and they're still doing this scholarship just on the interest alone. That's how much money they left. But anyway, so I'd applied for a scholarship. So what I ran across is this letter, and I don't know if you can see it good over here. You can see that it even has a stain on it. I'm trying to hold it up that you can see it. And you can see people don't write in cursive anymore. But this cursive writing is not mine, it's my mother's. And so I'm looking at this letter. I'm holding it up to YouTube a little bit, and I'm holding it up here so you can see it. This video will be left on YouTube and Facebook. But my mother, being the school teacher and educator that she was, she wrote the letter for this scholarship that I had to. And so I want to just read a little bit of it, and then we're going to just go wherever we go. Because for most of you all know, my mother is deceased. And so, hey, Dee. And so she wrote this letter, though, on my behalf. Now, I look at this letter and I wonder, because I don't remember, did I type this letter and turn it in? Or did I at least write it in my own handwriting? Because again, my mother is she would be, if she was alive, she would be older than a baby boomer. She would be what they call the silent generation. She's older than the baby boomers. But she has perfect penmanship. And it's interesting because back then, she and my Aunt Janice and my Aunt Nell and my Aunt Ruth, they almost write exactly alike. So they must have taught everybody to write in cursive like this, the perfect way to write in cursive. Again, I'm trying to let you see. But anyway, I'm going to read it to you, and we're going to just flow wherever we flow from here. This is what I wanted to be when I grow up, and this is what I was applying for a scholarship for. This was before my mother was deceased, and when things like that happen, it changes the trajectory of your life. Some people, when tragedy happens, they stay on the course and they continue with the hopes and dreams they had. Others, somewhat like me, it shifts you and it changes you forever. And I never really go back. You never really go fully back to it. It is Walk Away Renee, special to have. Hey, shines bright like a diamond, because that was in a day and time too when she passed where we didn't have cell phones. We weren't recording people. We didn't have their voices on everything. And so we really, in this day and time, if you have someone older in your life, you should take the time to record them, capture their voices, capture conversations, and sometimes candid conversations. Just begin to record and capture them. But I'm going to read this. This letter was written on my behalf. I hope I either typed it. I just wonder, did I turn this letter in her handwriting? Because that's technically plagiarism. Anyway, hey, Zuri Beauty. I guess it's not if she gave me permission or wrote it on my behalf. Anyway, it says, the title of it is What I Hope to Get Out of Life Through College. I plan to become a lawyer. College is the preparatory stage for me to achieve a degree in law and to clarify the directions for a career in this field. Yeah, she says, I never delete my parents' voicemails, and she's learning the recipe. So I know I'm going to try not to keep responding y'all while I read this. The next paragraph says, I hope to develop my potential to full capacity to achieve a well-balanced education and to enrich my life through college experiences. I believe this will enhance my self-esteem, thereby making me a better person. Now, I don't know why she thought I needed to be better, but my mama wrote this. Anyway, that's a joke. I shall strive to become highly skilled in legal matters and to be able to interpret the law in the best interest of the people whom I serve. I want to become a productive citizen and to lead a life of success. It is my ultimate goal to make a positive mark on society in the areas of legal matters, leadership, and service. And that was the totality of the letter. When I think about this letter, even though I did not go on and go to law school, that her death really shifted the trajectory of my life. I didn't go off to school at that time because my father was disabled and my sister was 13 years old, turned 14 the next month. So I stayed home and went to junior college for 2 years to stay near the family because we had just experienced that tragedy. But I thought about the fact that even though I wanted to be an attorney, someone who would have to research the laws and somebody who would have to speak on behalf of other people, I even began to think, even though I am not practicing law, I am still doing all of that in the kingdom. Yes, anointed vessel, you got it. It is funny. I am still living a life of leadership and of service. And when she says positive mark on society in areas of legal matters, even though I am not legal matters in a courtroom, I am definitely an advocate. I am definitely one. Even an intercessor is an advocate. I go to God on behalf of others. And so it's just interesting. And this letter kind of made my day. When I let my husband read it, I don't know, it was interesting what I found all in that stack. I found things that were very eclectic. So I meant to bring my birth certificate, even though I wasn't going to show my birth certificate. But my oldest son is here, and he was looking at, yes, legal matters in the kingdom. So, Sister Pauline, I stopped during getting my master's, and that all is in business with an emphasis in finance. I originally started in accounting, and when I went back later, it was the emphasis in finance. I'll say this. Yes, there's emphasis in finance, but I did not complete the master's portion. So that I do want to go back and do that for the sake of completing my master's. It is my goal to go back and complete that. Hey, Trinity Co. And yes, an advocate in the court of heaven. Yes, a spiritual lawyer, Ashley Nicole. And so, but my son found, we looked at my birth certificate today too, and it was interesting. Oh, you're welcome. It's interesting that he was reading my birth certificate. And it's interesting, depending on when you are born. Good evening, Tim the Real McCoy. Depending on when you are born, how your birth certificate is written. And so, born here in the state of Texas, I was born in Corsicana, Texas. And so, my son was taken aback when he read on my birth certificate that it said my race, I believe it said race, was Negro. And he thought that was, of course, very antiquated. But sometimes we cannot realize how some things weren't that long ago. So, yes, my birth certificate says Negro. It doesn't say Black. It doesn't say African American. It says Negro. When I was born, people who look like me were classified as, or identified rather, as Negro. Now it's interesting, my father, who was born in 1934, which I know that's a long time. And again, I don't know why we're starting like this tonight, because I do have something I think the Lord gave me, but this is how we're starting. My father, born in 1934, even though his father was what we call African American, even though his mother is what we call African American, his birth certificate said mulatto. I don't even know. Hey, lady, Elder Coleman. I don't even know if everyone on here is old enough or even is aware of the term mulatto, which was a term they used really back in slavery or back in those times right after slavery to identify mixed races. So they thought, yes, they thought my father was European and African, or rather black and white, because he was in East Texas. So they weren't thinking really African. Or they thought that they were either African American. Yes. Oh, I didn't know that, Ezra. I didn't know that they used mulatto. So my father was very light when he was born. He had gray green eyes and curly hair. So they thought he was biracial. They thought he was mixed. Now I'm sure his mother or father had something